Yo, what's going on everyone? My name is Rutto, and in today's video, I'm going to be revealing all of the information I have found on Armani after investigating him for well over a month. I'm going to be analyzing who Armani is as a person, his violent tendencies, criminal activity, and of course his association with Jake Paul. And just one thing before we start, I did make a previous video on Armani which detailed his criminal history and life in Las Vegas before all of this social media stuff. And I will be referencing some of these things in this video, so if you haven't gone and watched my last one, make sure you do so before watching this one because it'll just make a lot more sense. Anyways, let's get right into it.
First I paint, then I party, then I party, then I paint.
So that right there is one of Armani's signature catchphrases, and it pretty much sums up his entire social media persona. He portrays himself as this crazy, wild, and fun guy who's always painting his house and then throwing parties there. And it's a pretty interesting and unique gimmick. Armani's mansion, which he has dubbed the Graffiti Mansion, is very much a part of his identity at this point, and by all accounts, is the pride and joy of his life. The only problem is that he doesn't actually have any control over the house. The mansion is actually owned by a company called the Orange Trust. And Armani is named as a co-owner on the Orange Trust, along with a man named Brian Epling. However, Brian Epling is named as the trustee to the Orange Trust, essentially meaning that he has full control over the company. And that's the thing about Armani. You know, if you're far away, maybe the sun's in your eyes, you're squinting, you can't see very well, he seems pretty legit. It's only when you get up close and personal do you see who he truly is. Now, to his credit, he has done a pretty good job at maintaining this party boy image that he's been cultivating for the last 2 or 3 years. But he does slip up from time to time, like when he attacked and attempted to assault Logan Paul's cameraman for literally no reason. Or when he showed this security cam footage of him assaulting a man, presumably to show how big and tough and strong he is. Oh, Armani, you're so scary. Well, I managed to find the full-length security cam footage, so let's just check that out. Oh, no way, Armani. You attacked a man who wasn't even looking at you? Wow, you're so cool. I'm so scared of you now. That guy definitely wouldn't have beat the shit out of you if he knew you were coming. And I think the best part about all of this was that Armani was actually charged with assault, pled out, and then was put on probation because of this. There was also a restraining order granted against him, and he was banned from all MGM properties, which essentially means he was banned from over half of the casinos and clubs in Vegas. But that's okay, right, Armani? Because you showed that you're a tough guy and people should be scared of you. Armani is trying to play both sides of the coin. He wants the public to see him as the fun party guy who's always painting and whatnot. But in private, he wants to be known as the man with all the power and control. And if you go against him, he lashes out.
Here's the deal, and it's a big deal.
This is Armani's other catchphrase that he uses in almost every single video. He really wants people to believe that he's making these big deals and that he's some sort of successful businessman. So I decided to look into these so-called big deals and found that he's actually being sued. The nature of the suit is a stockholder's suit, essentially meaning that he was either allegedly scamming stockholders or defrauding investors, something like that. The plaintiff's name is Mark Streeter, and he's suing on behalf of the stockholders of Glow Threads. The people named in the case are, of course, Arman Izadi, aka Armani, Sancho Ben Ryan, aka Sancho Ginitasa, who is a close associate of Armani's and has been for well over 10 years. More on him later. Then you got Brian Epling, who is clearly named as the trustee to the Orange Trust. And lastly, you got Arman Izadi, aka Bonnie Roberts, who is Armani's mother. Now, if you go to the Glow Threads website, you'll see that they just sell some shitty glow-in-the-dark t-shirts that apparently are all out of stock, and that the website clearly hasn't been updated since like 2016. It also lists Sancho Van Ryan as the CEO of the company, and this big investor guy called Vibrato, who's Brian Epling. That's his DJ name. He's a DJ, and he literally owns the company Vibrato. So that's, you know, a bit sketchy to say the least, but okay. I want to look at some of the things they were selling, just, you know, show you guys that they really put a lot of effort into this. Okay, this is a Twinkle Toes t-shirt, and you got Sancho Van Ryan over here doing his best Blue Steel impression. Come on, man. This is the start of your company. You could smile a bit, dude. You're gonna make so much money off this company. Order now? Whoa. If I order now, I get a free glow pen and a free mini keychain light? Holy fucking shit, guys. Oh my, I gotta order. Add to cart. Oh, it doesn't let me add to cart. Okay. That's cool. That's interesting. Okay. Anyways, enough with this stupid website. I want to talk to you guys about why I believe this Mark Streeter guy is suing Armani and Glow Threads. And in order to do that, I have to show you guys that there is a clear connection between Glow Threads and the Orange Trust. Well, as you can clearly see here, Sancho Genidasa is named as the president and director of Glow Threads, and Bonnie Roberts, Armani's mother, is named as the treasurer and secretary. Now, if you scroll down a bit, you can see that the Orange Trust is actually named as an officer to Glow Threads. To simplify this, the Orange Trust owned Glow Threads. The Orange Trust was also named as an officer for two other companies, those being Villa Shangri-La and the A&A Holdings Group. Before we dive deeper into these two companies, we have to look at how Armani claims he generated enough capital to buy the house. He bought the mansion on December 16th of 2016 for around $1.2 million, and 4 months later sold it to Brian Epling for an undisclosed fee. Now, I believe this was probably to get Armani's name off the books for whatever reason, but this is how Armani claims he got the money to buy the house.
Okay, so basically I have a mansion in Vegas, right, that I had a vacation rental on until I got back on my feet after prison. I scrounged up the money from driving a limo to get this mansion.
Bullshit. Oh my. Sorry, guys. I think I'm catching a case of the bullshit. Oh, so you were a limo driver. And apparently limo drivers make enough money to buy $1 million mansion after only working for 2 years? If that's the case, why am I going to university? I'm just gonna start driving limos everywhere. I mean, I'm gonna be fucking making millions. Okay, this is how I believe Armani actually acquired the money to purchase the house. Now, before I get into this, I do have to say that this is completely speculative. I do not 100% know whether or not this is actually what happened. I'm just basing my determination off of information that I have found, and you guys can make your own decision based off this video. So we know there was around 11 months from when Glow Threads started on February 3rd of 2016 to when Armani bought the mansion in late December. In between then, on July 29th, 2016, Villa Shangri-La was filed as a company. And for those of you who don't know, Villa Shangri-La is what he used to call his mansion before he dubbed it the Graffiti Mansion. And they used to use the mansion as an Airbnb. But that's kind of strange, right? They started this company 4 months before they actually owned the mansion. What's even more interesting is that this website actually shows what they listed the Glow Thread stock value at. Now, I saw this, didn't know what it meant, so I sent it to my friend who's in business school, and he explained it to me. I still didn't understand it. But what he said is it looks like they were asking for $100,000 investments, if not more. And what makes this even better is that Glow Threads launched at EDC Vegas, which is a massive music festival, on June 17th, 2016, 1 month before the company Villa Shangri-La was filed. So this is what I believe happened. Mark Streeter, and most likely other people, invested a lot of money into Glow Threads at EDC Vegas. And their money was used to either buy or put a down payment on the mansion, which is very much defrauding investors, scamming stockholders, securities fraud. I don't know, I'm not an expert, but It's at least pretty sketchy. Anyways, Armani, you can keep using hashtag big deals only on all of your Instagram posts. Whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy. Whatever makes you happy, all right? All right, great. All I can say is, hey, FBI, I hope you're watching.
So, and then the girl that was my fiance, she's hiding in some fucking morbidly obese fat guy's mansion.
Oh, she's living with a fat guy in a mansion now? Yeah, it really sounds like her life has changed after leaving you. Armani, I guess I'm gonna have to be the one to tell you this because no one ever has before. You're ugly, okay? You're a disgusting human being on the inside and out. And literally Jordan Belfort calls you ugly on the podcast.
Stop that for 1 second. So you said you knew all the hardest smiles. Let me ask you a question.
I didn't know them at that.
No, but the point is, but like, let's just, let's speak truth there. You're not fucking Richard Gere. I'm not Richard Gere.
In this segment of the video, we're going to be making fun of Armani because he lacks any sort of self-awareness, and it's just hilarious. Armani actually owns his own record label called Izadi Entertainment. Yeah, this guy thought he could rap. Oh my god. It's so funny. Armani is like Tommy Wiseau, and his music is like The Room. It's so bad, it's entertaining. This is his SoundCloud page, all right? And I'm not going to play any of the music because I don't want him to try to like copyright strike or copyright claim this video. But, you can always just go take a look. It's very public. He has 401 followers. Dude, that's pretty good, man. I'm surprised you didn't try to like ride the wave with this. You're almost famous, man. This could have been big for you. Also, all of his songs are like Vegas themed, which is just so cringy. It's just so bad, but so funny that he thought he could actually rap. Also, I'm pretty sure that's a picture of him at Jake Paul's fight with a Nissan Gib. That means he updated this profile in 2020. What? Wow. Dude, the dream's still alive, man. The dream's still alive. Guys, we gotta get his monthly listens up, man. We gotta get his monthly listens up. Oh my gosh, this is great. In a diss track on Deji, remember we talked about this diss track last video, he literally brags about his stats and shows this picture of some sort of promotional thing. What the fuck? Okay, first of all, you have 100,000 subscribers and Deji has almost 10 million, so I wouldn't be bragging about stats, with him. But who calculates comments? Who brags about the amount of comments they have? What the fuck? That's not impressive, man. Also, I wonder if he added his SoundCloud monthly listeners into these stats. Wouldn't that be great? He probably did. Oh, man. That's so funny. Just another thing about Armani is that he's clearly buying his Instagram followers. He shot up to like over 350,000 last year around the summertime. And over the last few months, he's actually been losing tens of thousands of subscribers a month. So that's a sign that you have a lot of bot accounts following you. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about for this segment is this Instagram post right here. And I can't really show it because it has copyright music, but I'll tell you what it was. He basically started a charity for first responders and healthcare workers to raise money and buy masks for them. This was around late May. That's a pretty nice and generous thing for him to do. Showed that he cared about healthcare workers and that he was taking the coronavirus very seriously. Except for the fact that he attended the Jake Paul mansion party during the height of the pandemic in America. And the next day, he was in a Nevada hospital visiting his sick mother. But he really is taking coronavirus very seriously and he cares about the healthcare workers. Armani, you're a terrible human being. Why would you potentially risk infecting other people, including your mother? What is wrong with you? Oh my God.
This is Graffiti Mansion. We don't break the law. We just paint the mansion.
Armani markets the Graffiti Mansion as some sort of magical place where all your dreams will come true. Literally like Disneyland. It's fucking pathetic. And this is what it says on the Graffiti Mansion website. Relax at a tropical retreat like no other, just minutes from the strip. Whether you're in Las Vegas for business or pleasure, you deserve the best of the best. With its chic themes and art concepts, Graffiti Mansion brings. What? What the fuck? Okay. You the most viral trends to Sin City. Each paint job is custom created by dozens of artists from all over the world. Wait, that's weird. Wait, it doesn't say that these artists are exploited for their labor. That's strange. Why does it should say that there? That should be right on the front of this website. It should say we exploit our workers, because that's what Armani does. I've been told by multiple sources that most of the artists that work on the Graffiti Mansion have not been paid. And those that have been paid very little in comparison to the amount of work that they've done. We're talking people working up to 17-hour days, and their only compensation is being tagged on his Instagram posts. It's pathetic, it's sad, it's probably illegal, but it's definitely immoral. And why does Armani do all of this? Well, because he doesn't actually know how to paint. On the last day of the first Graffiti Mansion project, when they were very much behind schedule, instead of being the so-called artist that he is, Armani decided to go indoor skydiving and go drive Lamborghinis instead of actually helping out at the house. Why? Because he doesn't know how to paint. He doesn't know how to paint, guys. He doesn't know how to paint. It's like his whole thing is that he paints and he doesn't know how. Okay, it's really sad. All right, every time you see him just spray painting something, it's just nothing. He's not doing anything. He doesn't know how to paint, okay?
With only 2 days left till the exhibition, and only around 60% of the house done, everyone was feeling the pressure, and rightly so. However, it wouldn't be a proper trip to Vegas if Armani didn't have something up his sleeve.
Some of it involves indoor skydiving, and some of it involves getting driven around in fast cars, drifting.
Right, I'm not sure how that's going to help the artist, but I was down.
Also, it should be noted that on that project, more than half of the artists quit because of Armani's harassment and verbal abuse. On top of that, Armani has literally assaulted artists before who have been working on projects for him. This man is a straight lunatic. He manipulates and exploits vulnerable people as well as up-and-coming artists just so he can make a lot of money. And it's so messed up. If you are an artist, do not work for this man. You'll most likely won't be paid, and you'll probably also be verbally and physically assaulted by him because he's crazy.
The boy.
You know your good partners is when you can bounce, and it's like he could bounce and I would have it, and I can bounce and he would have it. And that's the magic of a 15-year relationship. That's right.
So now I want to talk about a couple of Armani's close friends and associates, you know, to see who he surrounds himself with. The first man we're going to look at is Nick Perkins. All-around great dude who definitely wasn't convicted of illegally owning and mistreating a baby tiger cub that he purchased from Jeff Lowe. You guys know who Jeff Lowe is, right? He was in that small indie documentary series called Tiger King, where he was treating tigers very humanely and really seemed like a great guy. Yeah, Nick Perkins got his tiger from him. Nick Perkins also owns this company called LA Recovery, which is essentially a rehabilitation center or home for people who are dealing with substance abuse. And if you are someone who really wants to get into investigative journalism, you should probably check this place out because I've heard it's pretty sketchy and it's a scam. That's what I've heard. I'm not saying it is, but it's what I've heard. You know, it's run by a man who illegally owned tigers and who has been accused on multiple occasions of being violent with women. So, probably not great. The next person we're going to talk about is a man named Simon King, seen here with an amazing haircut. Now, Simon King is is a character to say the least. I mean, he frequently says the N-word. Oh, and that's right, he also has multiple sexual assault allegations against him, including allegations that he drugs women. Yeah. This is also his Instagram page. I do whatever I want whenever I want. Yeah, that's gonna make you look really innocent in trial. What a dirtbag. Like, what a disgusting human being. And the last person we're going to talk about is Sancho Van Ryan, aka Sancho Ginadasa. And we spoke about him previously. This man has been by Armani's side from his days as a pimp to now. This man cares about nothing but himself. Much like Armani, he destroys the lives of the people around him. And I guess that's why they make the perfect team. They're like the anti-Batman and Robin. Sancho Van Ryan has hosted events such as the Miss Nevada Teen USA pageant or whatever. And this man should not be around anyone, let alone young women. These are the people that Armani associates with. Here's a video where all three of them are featured on Armani's channel. All these men want to live and act like Armani, and I personally believe that they should go down with him.
I mean, does it get to the point of intercourse?
Yeah.
How does that happen? Is he holding you down? Like,
so I kept saying no. I probably said no like 10 times. And then he was like, please, please. And then he just got like kind of forceful with it. And then it happened. And while it was happening, I kept saying like, I need to leave. And I was like making up a lie saying that my mom was texting me and that I needed to go home. And he said that I can go when he's finished.
At this point, we all know who Armani is and how he treats women. The fact that he's a convicted pimp pretty much says it all. However, there are hundreds of stories regarding allegations that Armani Izadi sexually assaults women. I myself have heard stories of women being drugged at Armani's mansion. Armani lures women to his house and provides them with alcoholic drinks that he pours in a separate room. These women do not actually see the drink being made, and that's very important. And the next thing they know, they're waking up in Armani's bed the following day with little to no recollection of the night before, other than the fact that they know they actually didn't drink that much. And it looks like allegations of drugging women is a common theme regarding Armani. Remember that big mansion party that Jake Paul threw at his house in 2019 for the rapper designer's birthday? Armani was the one who actually planned out the entire party. And all of his associates, many of whom have very similar allegations, were invited and attended the party. I can't go into too much detail as I'm trying to protect the identity of the people who spoke to me. But what they told me was extremely disturbing. Armani is a predator. He sees women as a commodity, not as a human being, and treats them as such. He is by all accounts an awful human being and is a danger to anyone around him, especially women. If you do not take anything else away from this video, just know that Armani is extremely dangerous and violent towards women. And he has been since his days as a pimp.
You're pimping out our house, Armani. We need you. It's just the start, too. What's funny?
Oh man, Jake. That did not age well. So of course we have to talk about Jake Paul, given everything that's happened. And I think the main question that everyone has is why the fuck was Jake Paul associating with a convicted pimp? You know, it's a pretty reasonable question to have. What's strange to me is that Jake Paul has had people in his life, for example, managers, who did not like Armani and wanted him to distance himself from Armani. And for whatever reason, he never did. I have three theories as to why Jake Paul continued this friendship with Armani. My first theory is that Armani manipulated and lied to Jake Paul. And like, let's be honest here, Jake Paul isn't the smartest kid in the world. So I definitely see this as a possibility, except for the fact that he had multiple influential people in his life telling him to stay away from this guy. So I don't believe this is what's happening. The second theory I thought of is that Jake Paul was just completely down to be a criminal, which I also highly doubt, given the fact that it would completely ruin his social media career, which he makes millions of dollars off of. And the third theory is that Armani has some sort of blackmail over Jake Paul. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have heard rumors about this, and people say this is actually what's happening. Now, I can't confirm whether or not this is true, and because of that, I'm not going to be telling you guys what I've heard because it's very serious, and I don't want to potentially ruin someone's career and just life in general over something that may or may not be true. But let me just tell you, it is very serious and criminal. But again, I don't know if this actually happened or not. Now, after talking with my sources, all of whom have known Izadi in some way or another, I asked them, do you think Armani would do something like this? And they all said 100% yes. He has blackmailed people before, and he would do it again if it benefited him. I believe that the FBI's focus for this investigation is Armani and not Jake Paul, given everything that we have talked about before, and some other things, including money laundering and tax evasion. Well, I also know that Jake Paul hasn't paid his taxes, but there are allegations that Armani hasn't as well. I can't really go into those because I don't have a lot of information on them. I think Jake Paul was caught in the crossfire with this guy. I think he's definitely done some bad things with regards to all of this, but I think the main goal with all of this FBI stuff is to get Armani and put him in prison. Arman Izadi is a career criminal. He is a 35-year-old man who preys on young, innocent women, promising them a life of luxury and fame and only causing chaos. He is a narcissist, a sociopath, and he destroys the lives of anyone who crosses him. Before I end this video, I want to say one thing directly to Armani, because Armani, I know you're watching. I hope you have a good time eating your dog shit sandwiches in prison, because that's where you're going. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. I've been investigating Armani and all of this stuff for well over a month, and this is most of the information that I have found. I also want to say thank you to everyone that spoke to me and reached out to me, especially the women who are very much survivors of these men. Thank you so much for talking to me. It was extremely brave, and I can't imagine having to relive those experiences. So just huge thank you to you guys specifically, and also to everyone else. Guys, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe with notifications turned on, and I usually never say this, but share the video. Send this video to Armani, because why not? Also, send it to this guy right here, and he knows why. Send it to him. But yeah, I just thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. Peace.